Hi again. Now I'd like to talk to you about Eden, or the Garden of Eden. But with that being said, I would prefer if you just set aside your ideas or beliefs that you have about Eden, maybe religious beliefs or whatever, for a moment, and humor me with what I have to say. I'll tell you what my idea of Eden is, and if it syncs with your idea, then that's great. If it doesn't, that's fine too. So go with whatever you believe the most, or whatever sounds most like truth to you. For me, the idea of Eden, and I like to say the idea of Eden, maybe brings us to a closer understanding of what it's all about, rather than saying it's a specific place, although it very well could be, and I don't want to squash anybody's beliefs on that either. And I'll get to that a little bit later about places where things are. But for starters, I'd like to say that for me, Eden is inside of you along the same lines as the mystic or esoteric idea of the whole universe being inside you, or inside of each and every cell of your body or atom. Eden is also inside of you, as it gets kind of paradoxical and complicated, so I'll try to simplify it in a sense that it's a potential that's there always within you, where the divine masculine portion of your soul and the divine feminine portion of your soul are living together in complete unity and harmony and balance. So one isn't dominating over the other, they're both whole and complete and thriving and unified. So that's the very, at its core, most basic idea of Eden for me, where the masculine and feminine, or divine masculine, divine feminine, are very in tune and balanced and unified. Now, that being said, with them being unified, it doesn't mean that there is no such thing as masculine anymore, or no such thing as feminine. In fact, the contrary is more true, to say that they're exemplified, like at their best. They're the highest manifestation and expression of the feminine and the masculine, and that is constantly on display and an energetic element of Eden. And so there's no battle of the sexes there, or no scorning each other for their differences. In fact, they are in constant celebration of each other's differences and what makes them uniquely feminine or masculine. So that's at the heart of the idea of Eden, from my perspective. Now, whether it's a place, sure. For starters, like I said, it's a place inside of each and every one of us, just waiting for us to discover and express once we have unified our own divine masculine and divine feminine elements within ourselves. So I feel like it's a potential and possibility that once we have unified our feminine and masculine within ourselves, whether we be a man or a woman or whatever, externally or physically, in body, but what will happen is once we unify that wholly within ourselves, it's possible that we may then experience Eden all around us on the outside. In fact, that is an esoteric teaching for how it all works, how actually physics work in this reality, that once something has become completed and whole inside of us, it has to be manifested outside of us at some point. Or if, another way to put it, if a dimension or world is true inside of us and it's consistent, we've established it, then at some point we will experience it in the outer reality. So you could say that's like a return to Eden, or recreating Eden, or bringing Eden back, but there's a potential there, and I wish you all well on your journey. And if that happens to be your focus right now, or will be someday, then all the best to you, and I send you forth with this message with great love and honor on your journey. Thanks for listening again, and I'll talk to you soon.